SK Hynix's ADR premium just exploded from 3% to 26% in 1 week. US markets just closed, Seoul opens in about an hour, and tonight we unpack why. SKHY priced at $149 on July 9th, only 3% above the Korean shares. By debut it jumped to $168, locking in a 16% premium from day one. Then on July 13th, Seoul crashed 15.4%, SK Hynix's worst session in nearly 2 decades. The ADR premium spiked to 25.6% as US buyers refused to follow Seoul down. On July 14th, SK Hynix recovered 3.69% to close at 1,913,000 won. The premium settled back to roughly 16%, but the whipsaw itself is the story. For foreign investors, the ADR is now a very different instrument from the Seoul stock. Story 2, Hyundai Motors Union walked off the line on July 13th. Workers cut shifts by 2 hours each, roughly 4 hours of lost production per day. About 5,000 vehicles are affected across the 3-day partial walkout. The estimated revenue hit is around 200 billion won, or roughly $140 million. The gap, the union wants a 149,601 monthly base increase, after 15 rounds of talks failed. AI-driven job fears are now sitting alongside pay at the bargaining table. Story 3, Samsung reclaimed the global smartphone #1 spot in Q2 2026. It's the first time Samsung has passed Apple since Q4 2025, per Counterpoint Research. The AI-centric device strategy held up during the worst Q2 smartphone market in 13 years. Samsung also flatly denied a Bloomberg report that it was considering a US ADR listing. So the foreign access story for Samsung stays exactly where it is tonight. Story 4, Celltrion terminated its EU Phase 3 trial for its Keytruda biosimilar on July 14th. The company also slashed its FDA Phase 3 enrollment from 606 to 220 patients. That's roughly a 64% reduction, following a July 6 protocol amendment. Both the FDA and EMA are moving to waive or drastically simplify biosimilar Phase 3 rules. Korea's MFDS also issued revised biosimilar approval guidance in the same window. For Celltrion, that means faster, cheaper development, but tougher price competition ahead. Quick hits, Hanmi Semiconductor posted its highest profit since its 1980 founding. Q2 revenue hit 251.1 billion won, up 39.5%, with a 51.9% operating margin. The driver is HBM4 bonder deliveries to SK Hynix and Micron, same customers, same risk. SK Hynix has now signaled it's open to a joint venture for its Honam Fab in Gwangju. Korea's ruling coalition wants to cut the holding company ownership floor from 100% to 50%. The Fair Trade Act amendment is targeting a September 2026 vote, a watch item for chip capex. Samsung also disclosed a 322.8 billion won treasury stock grant to 928 executives as long-term pay. Samsung SDI's UPS battery became the world's first to pass UL's new indoor fire safety test. HJ Heavy Industries' operating profit surged 4.5 times to 24.6 billion won on defense ships, but 335.1 billion won of covenant debt matures June 30th. When Seoul opens, watch that SK Hynix ADR premium, it's the cleanest red on foreign conviction. For the full analysis, visit LineVestnews.com and subscribe to the free LineVest Daily Brief.